Congratulations on completing your first 7 days. You are 1/3 of the way to completion. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So you're in week 2. The next 7 days are going to be a little bit intense. We are going to conduct research in this section. Don't worry, I will also lead you through the steps it takes to get to the finish line. In this activity, when we talk about research, I want you to really use your timer on your phone as I suggested in the previous video. This is super important because you're going to want to put end caps on the amount of research you do. What happens sometimes is we go down that rabbit hole on the internet and you get confused about what you started researching to begin with. So these activities and the forms that I've designed in workbook 2 are going to keep you focused. I want you to pretty much maintain filling out the worksheet with the questions that are there. You will have time to reflect and you will have time to go back to your answers and look at them again. But keep in mind that you want to keep this down to about 3 hours each week. This doesn't need to be an extensive research period. It's actually to teach you skills that you're going to need for later. So some of you have already conducted research before. Some of you have already done interviews before. Some of you maybe even be content writers. That's all great. I want you to still maintain and keep on track and do the activities in the order and in the time frames allotted to keep you focused and get you to the finish line. Let's get started with week 2. Let's talk about week 2's activities. In this activity, you're going to do some basic research, but you're also going to get to have some fun. We are going to do work on personas, and you'll learn more about what those are later in the activities. What I want you to do is in week 2, you're going to learn who your target market is. This takes a little bit of intense research, and then also we're going to have some fun in one of the activities. So go ahead and get started. Fill out the worksheets, stay focused, and I will see you in week 3. Oh wait, I wanted to remind you about the bonus. At the end of next week on your 21 days, that bonus is still waiting for you. So make sure you get the work done and you get to the next section. Congratulations on completing week 1, where you have written down a complete sentence expressing what your business idea is. Now that you've completed that activity, we are ready for week 2. In this section, you are going to define who it is you're serving and then narrow down what that means to you and your business. We are going to talk about your target market. There are a couple of activities in this section. One will be creating a persona. There's also a couple of extra activities within that. If you'd like to do extra work, you can. I want you to know the supplements that are in these modules are just that. They are supplements, they are extra work. Some of you may really want to dive in deeply on certain topics, and the other times you may not be interested at all and already have it defined. So if there are extra readings that are within the module, there will be supplements and extra worksheets. Feel free to use them at your leisure, but they are not necessary. They're only there for you for extra guidance while you're going through the process. Some of this is new information and some you've seen before or you've heard the words, but you're not really sure what they mean. So I've added those extra steps in there for you. Now, in activity 2, you will be completing interviews. So there's that scary word again. I hope that in the first week, you are a little bit more familiar with interviews, and this time it will be a little bit easier. This is a skill that will be used throughout your business. It's not just for this first 21-day boot camp. It is also for your business in general and in life. Sometimes you'll need to find out information from people and need to know how to ask questions. That's pretty much an interview. When you're having an engaging conversation with someone else to get information that is non-biased, that's the information that's going to help you serve your clients. So it's super important to pay attention to the questions that you're asking and also listen carefully to what the answers are. That'll be also in the workbook, so you have no worries. It's in there step by step for you. Now, after you complete week 2, you only have 7 days left. You are rocking this. So let's go. Let's talk a little bit more about persona. You've already read the workbook, the first section, if you're playing this video now. So in this activity, I actually had 3 steps. I wanted you to do an extra step where you would fill out the form for a persona profile about yourself. I actually took that part out and I made it an extra supplement in case you want to do that on the side, because I found that it's not really necessary to help you get to where you're going. So if you'd like a little bit of extra practice, you can always pull that up and read the supplement and have some fun with that. But in this one, we're only going to do 2 steps. We are going to look at your target persona, and we will actually complete a persona profile online so that you'll have a printout and you can see your persona live in person on the paper. This is important to help you stay focused. When you're thinking about your client, you're thinking about the problem that you're solving for him or her. So I want you to have something tangible that you can take forward into the next section. So let's get started. Hey, welcome to activity 2 in week 2. In this activity, we're going to validate your idea with your target customer. This is super important because you want to make sure that you're serving the right people, and you want to make sure that your problem is solving the problem for the right person. So when we go through these activities, I want you to keep in mind who your persona is, and when you answer the questions, try to dig deep. Make sure that you're not just answering from the top of your head, but that you're actually thinking about what the question asks you and how you're serving that person. You'll see that there's an interview process listed for you, and I also have a supplement for you about interviews that will coach you through that if you're still having trouble. There are prompting questions that some of you may not need, but if you do, they're there for you. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to gain a lot of expertise on who it is that you're trying to help. And I really want you to see how that affects you and your business when you can determine what that looks like. So let's get started.